Hi, welcome to Simply Narelle Stitches. I'm Narelle and this is my YouTube channel about my cross stitching. Today is Monday the 8th of December and this is Flosstube number 44. So I came to you last 2 weeks ago on the 24th of November and I have stitched every day in the last 2 weeks except for one. And that was the day after my last Flosstube because that's when I had my left cataract done. So it was just that one day I couldn't stitch, which was amazing, and I've stitched every day since. So some days wasn't huge amounts and some days were huge amounts. So anyway, just want to say welcome to anyone who has subscribed recently since my last video. And welcome back to anyone who is a regular viewer and a regular subscriber. Thank you. I really do appreciate you dropping by. There are hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of Flosstube videos and channels out there now. Many, many, many more that are so much better than me. So I do appreciate you spending just a little bit of your week, fortnight, whenever you watch this with me. Alright, so I'm just going to run through all the stitching that I did and maybe a little bit of plans. I don't know. We'll see where this goes. I do have notes. If you see me looking down, it's because I have notes because I won't remember everything I want to say otherwise. And yes, I do talk with my hands. I'm part Italian and I just have always talked with my hands. So I'm sorry if that worries you. That's just me and that's how it's going to go. All right, let's get on with it. Now, itchy nose, Flosstube itchy nose. How many times do you see that? Someone will do a video, they'll either start yawning or they get an itchy nose. It's a Flosstube curse, I tell you. Alright, so first off the reg, in no particular order, just as I pulled them out of the tub that I put them in when I finished stitching, before they go back in my little cubies, waiting to be worked on again. Alright, so I have here Anzac. Oh, sorry, hang on. Goodness. Anzac by Long Dog Samplers, and this one looks like this. Well, will look like this when it is finished, and to me it's very discombobulated. I like more uniformity, but it's Australia, New Zealand, so I had to get it and stitch it because there's not much out there for Australia. Alright, so that is what it's going to look like. And this one I'm stitching on a piece of green 18 count Aida. Oh my goodness, my nose. So sorry. 18 count Aida that was dyed by Paddock Lane Designs, and I'm not really sure what the colour's called. I think it was a online sale thing she did of mist dyes or something, but it's perfectly fine for me. And I'm using Cottage Garden threads in the colour Felix to stitch this. And if I'm not being lazy, I will pop up a before photo, but I'm probably going to be lazy, so that may not happen. But anyway, this is where it is now. And I worked on this just once, and I did 451 stitches. And I'm using this for Flosstube Frenzy for when Kel's Stitches posts a video. So I'm pretty sure I worked all the way down here, put this in, finished this goanna dude, and yeah, I think I worked sort of all this in down here. So, and possibly carried this down further. So that is where that one is at, and it's quite a quick stitch because it's the one colour, and because this Felix floss is really not variegated. If it is, I can't tell. So I don't have to worry about doing one stitch at a time. I can do like a row of 10 stitches and then come back with the second leg. So that's really handy, makes it a lot of a quicker stitch. So that is Anzac by Long Dog Samplers, and I am caught up with Kel's Flosstubes because she only posts once a fortnight, once a month, something like that. So I am caught up with her. The others, not so much. Okay, next we have Blue Rhapsody by Rosewood Manor. And this is what it will look like when it is completed. This is my working copy, so I've just photocopied it. So love this one, very, very pretty. So that is Blue Rhapsody. Okay, this one I worked on oh, I can't see. I've got to mark off on my list once I've talked about them, I think, because I can't see. It's just all very confusing. Blue Rhapsody, here we go. So I worked on this twice for a total of 585 stitches. And I am doing this on a piece of 36 count linen by Fox and Rabbit called Desert Taipan. And I'm using two DMC colours, 931 and 311. So it's like two blues. Sorry, the light is not... I really need to get my light sorted, hey. And I say that every single video. Are you sick of hearing that? Because I'm sick of saying it. I've got two desk lamps here, daylight globes in them, that I use for my paper crafting and stuff. And so I tilt them up to the sky, to the ceiling. But then I end up, so I don't get a glare on my glasses. And then I end up with a dark spot. So, sorry. But anyway, these are two blues. Sort of like a royal blue and back there better. A royal blue and a lightish blue. But if you're a DMC stitcher, you know those colours anyway. Alright, so I worked on this twice for 585 stitches. And I'm using this for Flosstube Frenzy for when Carolyn from C Zook Stitches posts. And that is where I am right now. So I put in some more letters in the alphabet. I'm pretty sure... Oh, wait, my needle minder's in the way and you can't see the F. Oh my gosh, my magnets are so strong I can't get it apart. Okay, so pretty sure I put in, finish the G and then put in the H, the I, the M and some of the floral to the side there of that, and then started on this motif down here. So very pretty. I'm loving this, and I'm really hoping that this is going to be a finish next year. So I mean, there's a lot more to go on the pattern. I don't know, maybe I'm a third way there, but I suppose it'll get finished when it gets finished. But I do have my 60 by 60 I'm trying to do, so 60 finishes by the time I turn 60 next August. So I'm hoping that will be one of those. Next we have, let me mark off, now I've lost my pencil. Oh, here we go. Blue Rhapsody. Alright, next we have So She Did. This is by Laurie Holt. So that is what it will look like when it is done. And this one I worked on once for 406 stitches. And I'm using this for Flosstube Frenzy for Don't Run With Scissors. Kelly at Don't Run With Scissors. And that is where I am now. So I filled in, what did I do? I did the needle point, I think down here, the needle on the sewing machine. I did the scissors and I started I think, going across here, if I remember rightly. I think I might have done some of this and that. I don't know now. Huh, who knows? But there's 400 and something stitches. What did I say? 406 stitches. So I'm hoping this also will be a finish next year, because really there's just, but yeah, I'm just starting in this blue bit here. So there's a whole lot machine to do. That bobbin over there, the hood there, I don't think I've got that in yet. She believed she knows all I've got. Pin cushion and this, but it looks a lot, but a lot of it is block stitching, same color. So that goes really, really fast. And then the thread thing down here. But it's not a detailed stitch or a complicated stitch. So I'm pretty confident that should be able to get done next year. Fingers crossed. And this I am stitching on a piece of random. It's a pink motley fabric. Again, it's probably dyed by Paddock Lane Designs, and it's a 14 count aider. So it's just one, probably can't see the pink model. It's very deeper than it's showing because my light is crap. But it's a pink motley dye, 14 count aider. And I'm caught up with Kelly's Flosstube. No, I'm not. I've got 100 to do. Maybe 200 to do. No, only 100. Because she did a video last week that she showed no cross stitching. She showed some needle points that she had done or worked on, but they weren't cross stitches, and I'm only counting cross stitches. So it was just $100 for the video. So that one, I just got $100 to do, $100 stitches to do on Kelly's piece. Okay, next up, mason jar liner. This is a dimensions kit. That is what it's going to look like when it is done. Very pretty. I overlooked this one so often, and then eventually I bought it, and I have not regretted it because it's stitching up so beautifully. The fabric is a pain in the butt to stitch on because it's really stiff, and I'm having all sorts of problems trying to get the needle through. So I probably should go to a smaller needle, but I can't be bothered. I'm too lazy changing needles. I've got the one needle. I mean, I've got more than one needle, but I use the one needle for every project that I stitch on. I just stick it to the magnets on my light and then pull it off when I'm ready to stitch. So, you know, I'm an uncomplicated stitcher. Alright, so this is mason jar liner. This one I worked on it twice, and I did 802 stitches, and this is for Sunshine Stitches, Flosstube Frenzy Sunshine Stitches, and that is where I am. So I finished off this bottle here, and then did the leaves up here, and then a lot of this bottle there. So no back stitching in it yet. I'm going to do that when I'm all done, and that's really going to make it pop. But I'm loving the look of it so far. Really, really pretty. It's on whatever came in the kit. So I'm using kit fabric and kit floss, and it's on 14 count white Aida. And I'm not caught up with Sunshine Stitches because they've, even though Shirley is away on holidays, they are still posting videos that they pre-recorded. So there's a few that I need to catch up on, but I'll go through at the end what I still need to catch up on Flosstube Frenzy, and we'll have a little chat about that. But that is mason jar liner. Loving that. Hoping again this might be a finish next year. We can only hope, can't we? Okay. So that's 4 so far. Next one is Dreaming of Daisies by Rosewood Manor. And this is what it will look like when it is done. This is a really bad photo of it. It looks so much prettier stitched up. I think the fabric does not do this any favors because the white just doesn't pop. So, okay, so this one I am doing on a piece of Jungle 32 count even weave. I don't know, it's a Paddock Lane Designs. Okay, I love this color fabric, very nice. And this one I worked on Dreaming of Daisies. I worked on it 2 times and did 700 stitches, and I'm doing this for the Dotty Daisy for Flosstube Frenzy, and that is where I currently am. See how much those white daisies pop on that green fabric, but on the chart there, like, they really don't do anything, do they? They just blend in too much. So I am loving it on this green, and that's sort of blowing out a little bit because of my shit lighting situation. But that is where it is right now. So pretty. And I am behind on the Dotty Daisy because she's doing Flossmas. So yeah, I have no hope of catching up in December. So I'm hoping once she gets home, she doesn't have time to do any videos. Sorry, Alison. But you know, no, it's all good. Record as much as you want because I have plans, and I'll just do these whenever I can, you know. It's all good. Alright, I need another drink. Okay, next is Angel Kisses. This is a Dimensions kit. I believe this is one of my oldest kits. It's not the oldest, but it's up there. So this is what it's going to look like when it is done. If you're a regular, you are probably sick of seeing this, and I'm getting sick of stitching on it, but I'm not going to give up on it. I'm going to keep going. So cute little cherubs, aren't they gorgeous? Alright, so this is being done on the kit fabric, which I believe is 18 count Aida. Yeah, 18 count Aida. Just a white Aida. This I'm doing for Flosstube Frenzy for Stitch and Mummy when she does videos and stuff. So I only worked on this once for 109 stitches, and you probably can't see a difference from last week or last fortnight because 109 stitches is not much. Pretty sure I worked in the face, probably a little bit of hair, but mainly the faces of the cherubs. So you can see their faces coming through. Their hair, I think, is done now. And I was going to work up to the top and work down, but then I thought I've got these two heads just floating in space. So I'm going to come down and put in at least their shoulders, and then work up and then work down, if that makes sense. Because I've still got all of him to do. There's quite a bit of him to do, and then the big wings and a lot of background. So I think from here up is pretty much done. There may be back stitching to do, but I think all the stitching background possibly is done. I know the back stitching on these flowers is done, but on the skirt here I'm pretty sure there's more to do. So every time I look at it I go, oh, there's not much more to do, and then I look at the cover photo and go, oh my gosh, there's still so much more to do, because I haven't stitched the little boy yet. So I've got to stitch him, all those flowers around there. I've partially started them, but it goes all the way around here as well. And then there's those big wings to do, and all that background. There's the background's half stitches. I'm not sure about the wings. I think they might be full crosses. So I'm up here. I just got to finish the arms, the bodies up here, and then him. This wing's quite large, and then her wings. So yeah, there's a lot to go, but that's why I picked it for Flosstube Frenzy, because I knew it would get regular work on it, because this is one that I keep overlooking because I don't enjoy working on it. So I needed to come up with a way, which is why I jumped into Flosstube Frenzy. I need to come up with a way to get those sort of ones done eventually. And I thought, now if I force myself to work on them because it's for a challenge or whatever, or a game, then they'll actually get stitched eventually. Alright, so that was Angel Kisses, and I'm way behind on Stitcher Mummy. Next we have Spring Tulips. Now this was not for Flosstube Frenzy. This is for a game I'm doing in Semi-Sane Stitches. It's a Facebook group. I'll link it below. This is for a game called Whip Wranglers, and this is an event where you have to pick 20 whips, and they are, each whip is a naughty elf, and you've got to stitch on the whip so that it goes back to Santa or the workshop or something like that, something along those lines. You have to roll a 20-sided die to choose what whip you're going to work on, then roll a 6-sided die to work out the number of stitches you need to do for that piece. And there's different levels. There's sane, semi-sane, insane, I don't know what all the levels are, but I've chosen the sane level because I'm doing other stuff as well, and I don't have all my time to focus on this one event. So I wanted to make it easy, that I'm not spending several days on the one whip sort of thing. So mine is, so I roll the 20-sided die to get what whip number I'm working on. Then I roll a 6-sided die to get the number of stitches, and then you times that number that comes up on the 6-sided die by 100 and divide it by 2, and that's how many stitches you need to do on that whip so that it is done and can go back to the workshop and it's no longer naughty. So far I've had 8 rolls and worked on, I think it'll be 6 or 5 pieces, because 2 of them have come up twice. So, you know, I was hoping they'd come up, you know, each one and then that was done. But no, some of them had to come up with multiple times. At least I'm getting lots of work done on them, I guess. So, right, so this is Spring Tulips by, what are they called? Stitching with the Housewives. So that is what's going to look like when it is done. It's just a barn with tulips and chickens. I'm doing this on Black Ada. I believe it's 18 count. And like I said, I worked on this for the Whip Wranglers event. And I worked on it once and got 697 stitches into it. So there we go. I finished off the brickwork up here in the barn. Did I? No, I didn't. I tell a lie. I might have done some. I finished off the window. Then I did down here either side of the door, itchy nose, and then I did all these tulips and leaves down here and that little bit of fence. So, oh, that lighting's better. 697 stitches. Oh, that's blowing out. Oh, come back light. There we go. And this fabric is big, that I can fit. That's the wrong side. But I have quite a few of these by the Stitching Housewives, and I think I'm going to probably be able to get 4 on this one piece of fabric, which will be really cool, because I do have in here quite a few. This is my pile that I have. So yeah, there's lots. Oh my gosh, there's lots. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, oh my gosh, 6, 7, 8, 9 more. Oh my gosh, do you want to see them all? Alright, so I've got Snowed in Bloom. Obviously I was on a bit of a I like stitching on black flowers type of mode. Let's Go Ride a Bike. And I probably thought they're all really little and they won't take long. Yeah, they're not that little. Flower Market. They're all gorgeous though. I absolutely love them all. So I do want to stitch them eventually. Lavender Seeds. And these are all downloadable PDFs that I bought and printed out. Wildflower Mix. no, coneflower seeds, it says. Yeah, sorry, I was reading the chart that says wildflower mix. It's actually called coneflower seeds because that's what's down there. Okay, daisy seeds. Pretty. Tulip bunches. I think I like tulips. Tulip bunches. Tulip farm. I think I like tulips. And that barn. I was stitching in that barn. Oh my goodness. And then the last one, forget me not. Yeah, so they are all in this bag. They're not all going to fit on that one bit of fabric, but I thought if I keep them all together, then I can just get more black fabric, and this will be my one project bag for all those stitching with the housewives patterns. All right. Spring tulips. I just ripped out the wrong one. Hang on. Okay, next. Flea Market Flowers. This is a Laurie Holt pattern. And it looks, I think this was a stitch along at one stage. That is what it looks like. Oh, I just kicked my foot on my chair. Oh. Flea Market Flowers. And I'm barefoot, so that hurt. This I'm doing on a 25 piece, Now I've lost the thing. I know I've got a thing in here somewhere. There it is, found it. Alright, so it's a piece of 28 count even weave by called Frozen by Sassy Devils Pouches, when they used to do the pouches. And it's dyed by them as a one-off for the pouch. I don't know which pouch, but anyway. And this one I'm doing for Flosstube Frenzy for Laura on I Stitch Birds, when she posts videos, etc. And this one I worked on 4 times for a total of 2,071 stitches. And Laura has been pumping out the videos, so I am, I think, behind again. Even though I did 2,071 stitches, Laura. Anyway, so that is where it is now. And I worked on these ones down here. Pretty sure I did them. Maybe I did this one. Maybe I'd already done that one. I can't remember what I did last time. Anyway, so these are done now. And then I carried the border down and started working across here, because there was a colour. I did this one. There was a colour in here that I just carried across to over here because I had too much of a thread to cut off and I didn't want to leave it dangling. So I just started this one across here. Yeah. So, very pretty. Love that one. This was on my wish list for a long, long time. And then I thought, well, you know, now is the time to get it done. And it's not complicated stitching. There's a lot of block stitching in it again. So it should be one that I should be able to fly through. Oh no, hang on. I dropped the picture. And get it done quite quickly. Oh, there's something in my eye. I'm not allowed to rub that eye aggressively, so next appointment with the specialist is the 19th, and then it should be fine. Alright, so this one, hang on, that was Flea Market Flowers. This is Floral Blush Profile by Lynart, and this one is again for Flosstube Frenzy. This is an old kit. The artist just says Carney, So that is what it will look like when it is done. There's a lot to do on this one. It's massive. Absolutely massive. I also have the frontal view one, which is a sister to this one. It's not as far along as this one. I'm just doing it on the kit fabric, which is some linen. I don't know. I don't even know if it tells me. Wait a minute. Hold that thought. Does it tell me anywhere? But kit fabric, kit threads. Wait. It's a 30 count linen is all it says. I don't know. It's printed because the shading, I don't know if you can see that shading, is printed onto it. So this one I'm doing for Flosstube Frenzy for Sisky Stitches, and oh, I've still got something in this eye. I worked on it twice and did 235 stitches. And I'm trying to fold it so that it's, this is a bed sheet, so it's not so much of a bed sheet to hold up. Oh my goodness. There we go. That's as good as it's going to get. That is where it is right now. So I've done work up here, up there. There's a few stitches in there. That's a blend, and I really don't want to have to do, like, there's 6 stitches in there. I don't want to have to get a blend together for 6 stitches. So I'm going to wait till I get somewhere else where that blend is needed, and then I'm just going to carry across to wherever else to do that blend. So it looks like a lot, but seriously, when you look at the pattern, okay, so it is, wait, where am I? So it's just here that I'm working on. There, so there's a lot of that flower to do, and then come down here and stitch this big leaf. That is also stitched, which maybe I won't do. There's this little bit, random bit here that I'm not going to stitch. That doesn't do anything for me. This down here is all stitching as well. This over here is stitching. I don't think I'm going to do any of that. I think I might just do the flower and call it done. Even though I like this, I think it's a lot of stitching, and it's probably, I don't know, does it date it? So I might go down to like as far as the bottom of this leaf to that stem where that brown starts, and then call it done. So I think that'll be enough. Like this probably dates it, all this stuff very much, I think dates it to like a 90s type of artwork, which, yeah, not my vibe anymore. So it will probably not be a full stitch, and I'm okay with that because it's going to take forever. Okay, and it's absolutely massive piece of fabric. Okay, oh, not many more to go. So that was Floral Blush, that's hard to say, Floral Blush Profile. Next we have Vintage Shoes. This is an old kit by Priscilla, and this is what it's going to look like when it's done. I think I bought this to do for my daughter when she was born. It's not going to happen, as in she doesn't really want it in her room. That's not her vibe anymore. So I've got this shoe to do, this down here, the computer board down, and then finish off this up here. And it's a kit, so I'm using kit fabric and kit floss, and it's a 28 count ivory even weave. It's a beautiful fabric to stitch on, really, really soft and beautiful. And now where's the project? Oh, here it is. I can find everything else in there, but not project. All right, so this is where it's at right now. I worked on this for one night, last night actually, and I did 287 stitches, and I did that for the semi-stain whip wranglers event. So I worked on these last night, and I think there's a mistake somewhere because they're not lined up. Like those two I think are lined up, or maybe not even. Yeah, I think there's a mistake somewhere. Because when you look on this, okay, when you look on this, they are, I'll hold it straight, they are opposite each other, lined up, yes? Oh, that one looks a little bit higher, is it? Or is that an optical illusion? I think, I don't know now. Is one higher than the other? Or am I got crooked eyes? This one looks a little higher. Well, anyway, mine are, see? So I don't know, is that how it's meant to be? Who knows? But I finished this one off, put in that gold thread, which is a pain in the butt to stitch with, and then did this one here, brought this down from about up here, brought it down, did this, and then I got to 1 o'clock last night or this morning and went, I don't have the mental capacity to fight with the gold thread to do the crisscrosses in there, so that'll happen next time I pick it up. And I also didn't do the back stitching, so I'll do the gold crissy crosses there in the metallic thread, and then I'll do the back stitching, and then I've just got that last shoe, the big floral bit to do down the bottom, and then I need to finish off this one at the top. I don't know why I didn't finish that when I was up there, who knows, but I need to finish that. That shoe is complete, back stitching and all. Those two lots of doohickeys are fully finished with the back stitch, the little symbol-y thing in the middle, which is done with that gold thread. I just got to put beads, there's a bead in the middle there. That shoe is done with all the back stitching. I've got to do this doohickey down here, and the beads will go on last because I use a Q-snap. So yeah, this I'm hoping will be a finish next year for my 60 by 60. Yay! Alright, so next, 2 more to go. This one is When Witches Ride. What is that? I'm missing one. I am missing one because I had a finish and I don't know where it's gone. I will finish these two, pause, and then I'll go find it. Anyway, When Witches Ride. This is I didn't even write it down. Wow. Okay. I worked on it for something. Oh, I know. It was for the whip wranglers. But I didn't write it down. So where did I miss that? I didn't actually write it down. And I can't see how much I did on it. It was only recently. I think it was when I finished one. I then started When Witches Ride. So I don't know. But I worked on When Witches Ride. This is a Doreen, it's hard to say, Doreen Jones piece. So I did this for, I know, whip wranglers, but I don't know how many stitches I did because I didn't write it down. So that's what it's going to look like when it's finished. I'm doing mine on orange fabric, not blue. So where the orange is, I'm replacing with green stitching. And I'm doing it on a piece of orange dyed fabric by Paddock Lane Designs, and it is, I think it was a mist dye. It's a 14 count. I love it how Lisa writes on the corner of the fabric what count it is. Brilliant idea. Okay, so we have, there it is. Oops. Okay, so I worked on Okay, I worked down this side. Let me just try and hold it. There you go. So I finished off this page. Was it a page finish? I'm thinking it might be, you know. Yeah, I think it was a page finish. And then I just have to come back and fill in down there. So I've got green, it's really hard to see, but it's that green I've got up there. In the border, in those bits, fill in them. And then that page is done. I've put in the cat's eyes, they're green, and the bat's eyes are green. Really hard to see, but I don't know how many stitches that was. Maybe 200 something. I don't think it was a lot. So I just had to pull this down. I finished the word Halloween, and I did the cat and this, whatever this was. So those little bits down there, and I think the H and the A was in for Halloween. So I did the Halloween, these bits, carried this down and carried the border down. Yeah. So again, on the list for next year for a finish. Very ambitious, but because the words, actually I've done all the words. I was going to say words stitch up really quickly, but then I've just looked at this and went, okay, there's no more words left to do. Oh, so I've done that cat's head, started this, done that bat, done the, I think that's the cross, start off the cross that I've stitched. So now I've got to come down actually and do all that side and that. Yeah, maybe not. That might be a little bit too ambitious. Because all that is all full coverage. Yeah, that's a lot of stitching. But it's block colour stitching, so maybe, I don't know. Yeah, we'll see. How many hours is there in the day? Not enough, is there? Not enough, because, yeah, there's a lot to that. And I'm just using DMC 310 699 for the green, and I'm using B5200 for the white. So yeah, sorry, I can't tell you stitch counts. I didn't write it down. I must have stitched really late into the night and just was too tired. Couldn't be bothered. It was a recent one, so it was only like a matter of nights ago. I don't know. Alright, and then Arnott's. Now this one I worked on for semi-sane whip wranglers as well, and this is a kit. This one should be a finish soon, hoping. So this is by Country Threads. That's what it's going to look like when it is done. Absolutely pops on the black. It is gorgeous, gorgeous, gorgeous. The fabric is black Ada, but I don't know, 14 count black Ada. So I'm using kit fabric and kit threads. This one I worked on for the whip wranglers. I worked on it twice and did 879 stitches. That is where it is right now. Sorry, the fan's on, might be blowing it a little bit. But doesn't that pop? Absolutely beautiful. So I was thinking the other night that I might get this done by Christmas as a Christmas present for my husband, but I don't think it's going to happen by Christmas. But my next plan is by his birthday in February, and I might have a frame I can put it in as well. So fully finished, we'll see how that goes. So I have left to do, wait, that's upside down. Alright, so I have just the rest of the biscuits to do, word biscuits, and then this down here, and then the border, and then any back stitching. So what I worked on this time for my, how many did I say? 879 stitches. I think I'd already done that. Maybe I did some of that. And then I did all this around here. I must have, see, because I worked on it twice, so I can't remember where I was last time I filmed. I think I put the B in. I might have had the ISC. So I think I put the, finished the B, brought the border down, did this little bit up here, this little red bit here, did the U maybe, and then started working around here because that's sort of where it was on the Q-snap. So I sort of finished down there, and then I will go over, finish the biscuits, and then fill this in. This is quite a lot of stitching because it's like solid stitching on the biscuits bit. So that is solid red with the white words, so that is a lot of stitching, but again, it's block stitching, so it'll be quite quick. So I could knock it out really easily, really quickly. So, but I don't know how much stitching I'm going to get really realistically, get it done before Christmas. There's other things like going looking at Christmas lights and all that, Christmas cooking and wrapping presents and all that stuff. Alright, so I'm going to go find my finish and I'll be back. Okay, I'm back. So, I remember now. I went to throw it into the tub because I stitch here, and then I went to throw it into the tub of finishes and it fell behind the table, so I totally forgot. So, this one is a finish. Yay! This one I worked on for the Whip Wranglers event, and I worked on it twice, and I just kept going to finish it, and I put in 1080 stitches. And it is now a finish. It's Apple Orchard by Blackbird Designs, and it's a finish. It's my DMC conversion in colours, and I'm just doing it on a piece of, I think it's 18 count Aida I got from a D-Stash group. It's just 18 count, it's like a really light lemon Aida, and these are charted in they charted in DMC, but that's right, I changed it because I was doing a series of them. And hang on a second. What?
I just want you to know. I forgot what I was saying.
Hurry up.
I forgot what I was saying. I'll have to come back after doing recording.
Okay.
I completely forgot.
Okay. Alright, I'm back. Alright, my son came in, wanted to tell me something, but then forgot what he was going to say. Anyway, alright, so I changed the colours because the colours it's charted in were too muted for me, and I was already doing a few others from this series, so I just sort of kept the same palette. But I love these colours. You're probably not going to see it that clearly because of the lighting, but I really love that pink and the green. I really like the colours I chose. So pretty. So I'm going to make this into a cushion, I think. So yeah, there is a finish. And that is finish, I think, wait a minute, I think it's 29 on my 60 to 60. We shall see. I have a little thing I started doing here. Yes, I needed something visual to keep me going. So I just created a page of little circles, and I'm colouring them in as I finish. So that was finish 29. So I'm nearly halfway there, and I'm doing one tonight because I spun I rolled the dice already for tonight's Whip Wranglers stitch, and it's Basket of Cherries by Blackbird Designs, and I think there's not a lot on that one. I should be able to get that one finished tonight, and that will be 30, and then I'm halfway there. Wow, so I might actually make my 60 by 60 by August. That is awesome sauce. Alright, so when I was talking about Flosstube Frenzy and said that I was behind, because people are, you know, this time of year people are doing Flossmas, then people do lives, magazine or book flip throughs, planning videos, all sorts of stuff like that. So I'm doing 100 stitches every time they do a video, regardless of what it is. So when someone like the Dotty Daisy is doing Flossmas and it's $100 a day, $100, where's this $100? 100 stitches a day per video, it quickly adds up. Some I haven't stitched on. I've missed quite a few of their floss tubes. I've watched them and I've marked down what I need to do, but I haven't got around to stitching on them because I've then decided I wanted to do this Whip Wranglers event so I could touch more whips and get more of my whips stitched on this year, because I've got quite a lot that I haven't stitched on. And at the start of this year, I decided I wanted to stitch on every single whip. Hence my Whip Go boards, where I had 5 Whip Go boards, or 4 Whip Go boards, where every single whip was in a spot, which meant if I had been able to keep up with that, every whip would have been touched at least once in the year. But I fell behind with that because I had new starts. I got sidetracked with other things and I just didn't manage to touch every whip. And I still have quite a few I haven't touched. So I'm going to do this Whip Wranglers event of trying to touch those 20 whips. And then also I'm hoping that I can get through those 20. I've got like maybe 12 more that I haven't touched, or maybe a few more. I'm hoping then that I can go through my Whip Go boards and see which ones I haven't touched and put in at least 100 stitches on those ones, so I can say I've touched every whip this year. That's not new starts that I've started and then haven't touched again, but these are the ones that were current as of December 2024 when I made my year 25 plans. So that's the plan. So therefore my Flosstube Frenzy pieces have fallen by the wayside. So like I have all these to catch up on. I've got one on this side to do, and then two on this side to do, and then all this side. So this is how many videos these people have been doing. All this side, and then this page. So I thought that seems really overwhelming. I'm going to work out exactly how many stitches I need to catch up and then keep a running tally, a bit like Jen's boards that she does. So this is my running tally on Flosstube Frenzy. I know you can't read that, so I'm going to go through it. So some of them have a lot to do, some are surprisingly small, so I'm hoping I can knock these out. If I work on them little bit by little bit, then it won't seem so overwhelming. So Angel Kisses, the one for Stitcher Mummy, I need to do 1900 stitches on that. Now today is Monday, so that means which means she's currently filming today and her video will come out tomorrow for me, so add more stitches to that by tomorrow. Then we've got Blue Rhapsody for Sea Silk Stitch. I've already got her video from yesterday she posted, so 900 stitches on that one. Mason Jar Lineup by the Sunshine Stitches is only 200 because their video they did, last two videos, one was a what to pack Shelia when she goes overseas or on a trip or a retreat, and then yesterday's one was their wish list, so it's all the kits they've got kitted up, projects they've got kitted up waiting to go. So that was just $100. Oh my lord, 100 stitches for each of those, so that's only $200. What's with the dollars? 200 stitches for Mason Jar Lineup that I need to do. Follow the Leader, which is Jen the Caffeinated Crafter. Oh my goodness, 1,950 stitches on that one because she goes through a lot of whips every week, which it's $50. Oh geez, Darrell, what's with the dollars? 50 stitches per whip she shows that she's worked on. 100 stitches per video. So not only has she done her normal floss tube, she's also done a planning video, and she's also done a video on the Great British Bake Off she's doing next year, which, spoiler alert, I'm going to jump in and play along to because I'm crazy and, you know, I don't have anything else to do with my days. Not. Anyway. Then Flea Market Flowers for I Stitch Birds. I owe 433 stitches for that because she's done a live. She's done a planning video. I think she's done an all floss tube, but that won't take long to catch up because it's quite quick stitching. Anzac, I'm up to date. So that's good. Dreaming of Daisies for the Dotty Daisy. 800 stitches I owe on that one because, like I said, she's doing the Flossmas. So they're all from Flossmas so far. So she did. I owe 100 stitches on that one for Kelly from Don't Roll Me Scissors. Floral Blush Profile from Siski, I owe 500 stitches. And then Golfing Partners from Kim Hollenbach is 500 stitches because she's a monthly poster So that 500 stitches is just from the one that she did this past weekend. So that is what I owe for Flosstube Frenzy. Now, I am going to keep going with it. That might seem a lot of stitches to catch up on and a bit daunting, but I love the progress I'm making on those whips, and they are whips that I really want to get finished, and that's why I picked them for that game, so that I knew they'd get regular stitching on them and eventually get done. So I'm going to keep going on them and keep marking down the stitches that I owe, and just keep slowly working on those pieces. If I can fit those pieces into a challenge somewhere or a game somewhere, then I will, to help knock out those stitches that's owed, because that's the only way I see that I can get them done. So that is all that I've worked on. My plans are to keep going with the Whip Wranglers game. I'm also playing another one in, I've forgotten the name of the group. Oh yeah, hang on, it's on my screen. Wait a second. Stitch Talk Cross Stitch Challenges. That's run by Portia, that group, and she had a really big gap in stitching and wasn't doing any games or anything, but she posted some sort of mid-year that are for later in the year, and this is one that I'm playing along with. And you have to pick your whips? No, I think you just, there's a few different versions you can do it, and I'm doing the easy version, I think, where you roll a 100-sided die, and that is the stitch count you need to do on your whip. And you just roll as many times as you want throughout the month until the end of December to see how many whips you can get through. So I'm pairing that with my Whip Wranglers event in Semi-Sane. So whatever I roll in Semi-Sane is what I do for the other group, the Portia's group, and that's how I'm getting through that game. So I'm going to keep doing those two games, keep recording my Flosstube Frenzy, and hopefully I can get some of those stitches in. I'm sure there's other games that I'm doing in December. No, just Spin the Stitch, Flosstube Frenzy, Whip Wranglers. The word game is finished. I've done, for categories for Whip Warriors, I've done probably 6 out of the 9 or the 8, maybe 5 out of the prompts, so I've got enough there. And I was going to try and do Scavenger Hunt in Whip Warriors. I have all the prompts there. There's 100 prompts. I have whips assigned to most of them, but I don't ever think to go in and post against them. Like I could, because the whips I'm using, a lot of them have items in them on Scavenger Hunt, but I just keep forgetting that it's there. So if I remember, I will pop them in that challenge as well. So anyway, that is it. That's my plans. Hopefully I'll be back in 2 weeks. We will see. Yeah, so I think that's it. I don't know if I'm going to do a planning video, because my plans, they're not set in concrete, and I keep changing what I'm doing, what I want to work on, and how I'm doing stuff. So planning's a bit pointless for me. Plus, I'm also good at writing things down and then never sticking to it, or never following through. Doing something for a little while and then go, nah, that's too hard, I want to do something else. Someone will show something else and go, hey, I want to jump on that bandwagon. Hence why I want to do the Great British Bake Off that Jen's doing next year. And I've already written out all the projects I want to do for the people, because she's given us the list of people and the stitch counts. So I'm going to add that to the mix next year, as well as the Rugby League Rampage that I'm doing because I have FOMO and can't do Gridiron Grind because I'm Australian. So I'm doing our alternate Rugby League Rampage, throwing that into the mix as well. And then I have also decided to keep going on the Fun with Cross Stitch group, their Holiday Around Australia game. I stopped that mid-year, but I've picked that up again. So I'm, using other, whatever I'm doing for other challenges, putting them against that game as well. So that's what I plan on doing next year, and I will probably come to a screaming halt somewhere mid-year like I did this year, because I've taken on too much and I can't carry on with it, and it all gets too overwhelming, so I decide to stop doing anything. And then next year I've also decided to continue or take up filming again for my paper crafting channel. So somewhere in the mix with all this project bag making and stuff for my business and all this stitching, I'm going to be doing lots of paper craft videos, card making and scrapbooking. So send me more hours in the day or clone me. I'm quite happy for either of those. And we will see. Oh, and then I'm also going to be walking every day, fingers crossed, because Laura at I Stitch Birds in a video recently was talking about how she had done in the past a Conqueror challenge. So they're a fitness challenge. If you've never seen them, look them up because they're really cool. And it's a virtual thing. You have an app for it. You purchase the challenge, you walk the kilometers, miles, whatever needed in the time frame, and they send you a really cool metal medal. So it's a medal made of metal on a lanyard, and they are so pretty. I love them. And I had seen these challenges years ago and always wanted to do them, and then went, nah, I don't know, will I keep up with it? I don't, I'm not so sure. And then when Laura mentioned them, I went, you know what, I'm going to give them a go. I want to see if I can complete one. So I found one that was probably one of the lowest kilometers. I think it's like 53 kilometers, and it's the Paris one. And the medal is so pretty. So then I saw on their site Harry Potter ones. My daughter is mad Harry Potter fan. So I said to her, hey, they got Harry Potter ones. So she goes, oh, I'll do them. I went, oh, cool. Except she wanted the whole series. And that was like $300 Australian. I went, no, I'm not paying that up front, because knowing her, she starts things, doesn't finish them, because it's the ADD brain, whatever. It's like, I've tried it, I've conquered it. Conquered it. I've tried it, I've achieved it, I don't need to continue with it, I'm done. And then I move on to something else. That's the way her brain works. So I thought, I'm not paying for the 7 challenges when she will do one and go, oh, well, I'm done now, I don't want to do any more. So we bought one Harry Potter one. So fingers crossed she keeps going. So carrying on from that, we then bought for Santa to give us Fitbits each. So they're going to be under the Christmas tree. And then come, probably not Boxing Day because we'll be too tired. But, bad excuse, I know. But after that, then we're hopefully going to be doing those daily walks to get our medals. So I don't know how I'm going to fit all this in. Who knows? There's not enough hours in the day already, so we'll just see how it goes. But like I said, I'm really good at planning, not so good on the follow through. Anyway, all right, I've been babbling on for an hour, over an hour. So that's it from me. Thank you so much for watching. I will hopefully see you in 2 weeks. I hope you've got lots of stitching done while I've been yapping, and you get lots of stitching between now and when I see you again. Until then, stay safe and happy stitching, and I will see you next time. Bye-bye.